Want to boost your bees and crops? We scoured the internet to find the top 5 pollinator plants for your farm. Before we get into our pollinators, I just wanted to bring up a couple comments. I think you guys will like this one. We have one from Cornbread6616. I like the name. And also one from Mark Wintringham. But Cornbread says, how do I get one of them Hobby Farm t-shirts? And Mark says, I like the new format. Love the t-shirts. Would like to see more on gardening and perhaps quail. What do you think?
Well, the t-shirts, I assume they're talking about this one primarily. We have some ordered, which means they should be available very soon. And we'll keep you updated on how to get a hold of one of them. There might be a couple different ways to get a hold of them.
Yep.
So yeah, with the t-shirts, they're coming.
And as for gardening, we get to talk about gardening today.
We sure do.
I
We're
wore
talking
one of my
about
gardening
pollinators.
pollinator t-shirts on the topic of t-shirts. So let's jump into it and find out what we can
And
do.
Mark also said perhaps
Oh,
quail.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll add that to the list, and maybe we'll have a video on quail coming up.
Okay.
All right, I like it. So let's move into pollinators here. First of all, what's the benefit of planting pollinators?
So pollinator plants, right? Pollinators are going to be those insects or moths or bats or whatever else, that come in and pollinate the plants so we get the food that we want. Adding some of these plants to your garden are going to help bring those bugs in. Going to make it more attractive. You're going to get better results. That was the reason why I got honeybees to begin with. Wasn't because I wanted honey. It was because I wanted more raspberries, right? So bringing more pollinators into my place, these plants are going to do that for you.
Yeah, Steve and I both do gardening. We both kept bees, and it benefits both, right?
Yep.
The bees have pollen and nectar from these plants. The garden does better because the bees are there and they're attracted to the area. Even if you don't have bees or other pollinators at your place, this is going to bring them in. And they're not only going to pollinate these plants that we'll talk about, but they're going to pollinate your tomatoes, your peppers, your apple trees, whatever you have growing on your farm. So it really benefits in that way as well.
All right, well, let's talk about the 5 top plants that the internet says are the greatest as to bring in the pollinators here.
Okay.
So we'll start with number 1. We'll see if you guys agree or disagree. Lavender.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that one for a couple of reasons. One, it does a really good job bringing in the bees. It's a beautiful plant, and it smells good too. So I like having lavender around. It blooms all summer long, so it's going to provide a steady supply of that pollen and nectar for the bees, which can be a troubling thing to make sure you have pollen and nectar available during certain periods of the summertime.
The other good thing about lavender is it's drought tolerant. Once it's established, it doesn't need a ton of water. It's pretty hardy, it thrives on its own, doesn't mind a bit of neglect. And if you select the right variety, it'll come back. Perennial will come back year after year. So you plant it once and then you've got it forever.
Yeah, and if you plant it close to your garden, they're going to come in for the lavender, but they're going to pollinate your garden as well. So that really helps. Yeah.
Yeah, and if your wife makes you watch any Hallmark movies, lavender goes great in coffee, muffins, candles, you name it.
Well, lavender is also, it's a good herb that you can put in your chicken coop, in their feed. It really helps keep the coop fresher.
Yep.
All right, number 2, according to the internet, sunflowers.
Okay.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite ones. I like sunflowers a lot. For one, they're attractive. And those large blooms really are like a beacon to pollinators that say, come and pollinate me. And the bonus is, in the fall, you've got sunflower seeds. Now, whether you want to harvest them for yourselves or like I do, I'll just take the buds from the flowers, dry them out, and now I've got something to feed to my chickens for a snack.
Yeah. That was one of my plans this year, was to build this gigantic wall of sunflowers all in the chicken pasture, about 70 feet. Because not only are they beautiful, they're pretty stout flowers. They actually make a pretty good windbreak.
Yeah.
And those types of things. Even provide a little bit of shade with those
Yeah.
7, 8 feet tall. So they're a great addition to the garden. They're going to bring in the bugs, beneficial bugs. And like I say, when you're done with them, you got chicken food, people food, all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, they're easy to grow in most areas and most types of soil. There's plenty of different varieties out there, so you can always find one that's going to work for your area. They even have dwarf varieties if you want to bring in like some of the smaller native pollinators as well.
So do you have to get water to them? Or do they just grow?
They need to be watered.
Yeah, I grow them along the canal bank at my place, so I don't have to add water. There's plenty of water there for them. But
Which is
yes.
why mine didn't get planted this year because I didn't get the irrigation set up.
All right. Moving on to number 3, clover.
All right. So this probably would have been probably number 1 on my list.
Yeah.
Clover's fantastic for a number of reasons. You can graze some of your animals on it. Just be careful that you don't get too much; they can cause some problems. But it fantastic for bees, fantastic and it's just pretty to look at.
Yeah. It's safe for most livestock to graze on, and as a couple of people who've kept bees, it makes for great honey too. If you have a field that has a lot of clover planted in it, those bees collect that pollen, they collect that nectar, and it makes for delicious honey as well. So I think it's probably the number 1.
Clover is often used as a cover crop, right? So if I'm gardening and maybe this year or this spring or this fall, right, I'm not going to garden this section, I can put some clover in there. That's going to maintain the soil, keep it from drying out, keep it from blowing away. It's going to bring in the bugs. And clover is also a legume, which means it fixes nitrogen in the soil. Well, it hosts bacteria that will do that for you. So if it's properly inoculated and you have that set up, you're also enriching the soil at the same time. So it's
And
great
the
for your
animals love
soil.
it.
It's great for your animals. It's great for your pollinators. It's great overall.
Yeah.
Red and the crimson and the white, both of them are great.
Yep.
Plus, if you find a 4-leaf clover, you good luck for 7 years. All right. Moving on, number 4, bee balm.
Okay. Bee balm, of the ones we've talked about so far, by far the most beautiful.
Yeah.
Right, bee balm is absolutely gorgeous, and I have it grown in several places throughout my place. The one thing I will note with bee balm is it's a member of the mint family, and anybody who's ever planted a piece of mint knows that you plant one
plant
piece
a
of
little,
mint,
you're
and
gonna have
you get
a lot.
Bee balm will do that, not as aggressively as like spearmint or some of the other mints, but it will do that. But it's gorgeous, has these beautiful blooms, and today it's early August right now when we're recording this. It's hot, it's dry, it has been for several weeks. At my place,
Yep.
the bee balm is in full bloom. A lot of other things are kind of drying up, kind of shriveled, but the bee balm, right through that heat, continues on, which makes it a fantastic resource for pollinators.
And if you have several different types of plants blooming all at the same time, including bee balm, I can guarantee your bees are going to be all over that bee balm. There's a reason it's called bee balm. It's like a bee magnet. They just love that stuff. And if you plant it in clusters, you're going to have tons of bees all over those flowers. Yeah.
Good one.
All right. And number 5, borage.
Excellent. Another beautiful flower. I tried to actually start some with some seeds this spring to move out, and I didn't get any of my seeds. I don't know if my seed was old or whether I'd get a disturbance. Anyway, I didn't get any, but they are beautiful, and I know that the pollinators love them. I planted them in the past. I bought a couple, and I was like, I'm going to just start a dozen plants myself, and I didn't have a single one germinate, so I must have done something wrong.
Yeah, they are beautiful plants. They're great for attracting bees and butterflies. And one great thing about it, once you do get it established and you get it growing, it's going to return every year with very little effort. The leaves are edible as well. So you can feed some to your chickens as a snack, or if you have goats, they'll devour it all. Yeah.
Yep, that's a good one.
So I have to ask here, with any of these, are you growing them in a certain area of your property or
with the borage, you want to grow that in a sunny spot because it really likes the sun. And if you place it near your coops or near your hives, it's going to attract those bees and those chickens. Like I said, with the lavender, planting it, right outside the garden area
Yeah.
is really great. But just having them close by somewhere on your property, not far away from your garden, not far away from your orchards,
Yeah. So
it's going to bring them in.
I tuck this kind of stuff just in the little corners of my garden. Right, like I've got a bed full of vegetables, and the last 2 feet, I save and I plant in flowers, and just little pockets here and there, and that gets them throughout the garden. You don't need huge amounts to make a difference, and that works out really well for me.
Yeah, I think this is a really good list. This is one of those that I'm probably agreeing with the internet and saying, yeah, these probably are the top 5.
I'm going to add buckwheat.
Buckwheat is a good one too.
Love buckwheat. Again, buckwheat is one of those that it not frost tolerant, also you have to plant a little late, but it germinates in 2 or 3 days. It's flowering within 3 weeks, and it will continue to flower until frost. Again, through all the summer, through all the heat. Sometimes I went down and checked the bees yesterday. It's a little slow right now because there's not a lot of flowers. Typically, I have a stand of buckwheat. They sure I didn't get it planted, and I can tell.
Yeah.
But buckwheat's another one that.
Yeah, I mentioned that clover makes for great honey. Buckwheat
So
makes
does
for
buckwheat.
great honey too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good one as well.
So there you go. A landmark day, everybody. Brian agreed with the internet for once. Write that down.
The
All
internet
right.
wouldn't steer me wrong, right?
Oh, never. All right, so boost your farm with these top pollinator plants. And as always, if you have other ideas or some of your favorites, put it in the comments. And if you haven't yet, like and subscribe.
Yep,
We
definitely.
greatly appreciate it. And your comment might end up in one of our videos.
Yeah.
So that's always exciting. So there you have it. Any final comments?
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah. Keep on hobby farming.
There you go.